Hey everybody, welcome back to the Dungeon Dive. Daniel here. I hope you're doing well, and if you're not, I hope you are soon. Okay, today on the Dungeon Dive, it's a first. We are reviewing a box. Yes, that's right. We are reviewing the Box of Terrors, and that is from Phil Reed, who designed the Overland Adventure cards that we have taken a look at before. And this is a box to hold your or some of your Mork Borg zines, but the box does come with some pretty cool supplements, and the box itself is also a pretty cool bestiary. And so we are going to take a look at what you get in the box and how you can use the box during your games of Mork Borg. Let's see what the back of this box here says. Do not open this box. The horrors within this vile receptacle are eager to escape and inflict unspeakable pain on the world. Do not open this box. Box of Terrors. Okay, so one of the things you can hear kind of rattling around in this box was not included, but I did want to show these off because Litco did send these to me quite a while ago, and I just kept forgetting to get them on the channel. Didn't really have an opportunity to, but I thought I would take this opportunity to now. So Litco makes a whole bunch of tokens and bases and things that you can use with various war games and skirmish games. And they have an entire line of Mork Borg tokens that are specifically made for Forbidden Psalms. So you can keep track of damage, and you can keep track of your corpses and different omens and different statuses and ailments and that kind of thing. So if you're looking for ways to kind of bling out your games of Forbidden Psalms, I do recommend these. They're really nice. They feel cool. They look really nice. I like all the yellow and all the bright colors. So they do add quite a bit to your games of Forbidden Psalm. But I did want to take a look at those and thank Litco for sending those to me. But here is the Box of Terrors, and what you get in the box. You get a bookmark that is for the Gloves of Horrible Suffering. You get two kind of bigger poster adventures, the Fathomless Despair and Return to the Valley of Despair. And then you also get four more posters here, or five more poster adventures here. And then you get a little kind of fold out bestiary for D12 skeletal encounters. So lots of pretty cool things in this box. I did back this box on Kickstarter. It is the first time I have ever backed a box on Kickstarter. But the box is, you can keep a whole bunch of different zines in there if you want to. It, of course, won't keep all of your zines, because if you're like me and you like collecting and reading Mork Borg stuff just as much as you like playing it, then you have an abundance of stuff, and you might need, I don't know, 4 or 5 of these to hold all of your stuff. Okay, so the core of the box, inside the box, is a pretty cool bestiary, and I like this quite a bit. You will roll a d6 in the box, and depending on where it rolls and what number is rolled, then you can encounter things in the box, or you can use this table over here to see what you have discovered. So let's do a roll here, and 6. Okay, so we roll. If the die lands in this corner, roll another die in the box. There is a second foe. So this says that roll a d6 in the box. If it lands on a hex, see the inside lid of the box. If it lands outside of the hex, use the tables below. So we rolled a 6 and roll 2d4 and encounter. I don't have any d4s handy, so I'm going to roll a d8 and hope I don't roll a 1. We rolled a 7. So we would encounter 3d3 plus 2 goblins, but we also hit this corner up here. So there is another encounter. So let's see what we roll here. And that would be on this one here, 7-2. So we can come over here to this table here, 7, an unexpected and evil terror. And we rolled a 2, a wyvern. She prefers the taste of fresh meat and attacks the youngest character. All right, so that's how you can use this as a kind of a roll to see what you discover bestiary. I think this is really fun. It's cool to roll a die, to use this as a dice tray, and to kind of see what kind of beast you come up with. There are all kinds of different charts in here to roll up your random encounter. This is a lot of fun. Very cool use of a silly box. Then we have D12 skeletal encounters. This omnipresent skeleton is one of those foes that GMs can always toss at the adventurers when stuck for an idea. These monsters are everywhere and often foretell greater danger. We have desiccated terror. We have a skeletal combatant. So those are kind of generic skeletons you might come across. And then in here we have a D12 chart. So let's take our D12 and let's roll, see what we have. Number 9 there. All right. 2D3 plus 2 skeletons are collecting fallen branches and tossing them in a rickety cart. They are gathering wood for their mistress, a vile sorceress who will be quite upset if her cottage is disturbed, or if her skeletal minions are unable to complete their task. So that gives you a couple hooks you could have for your solo adventure. You could maybe appeal to the vile sorceress. Maybe she needs some other work done. You know, you might want to help the skeletons gather some wood to get in her good graces or something like that. Or you might want to attack the skeletons, and then that could lead into some kind of adversarial adventure with the vile sorceress. We also have down here a D6 chart of equipping your skeletons. So you might come across a skeleton with a crossbow and 10 bolts, or maybe some scale armor. And then we also have a skeleton's task. At times, animated skeletons are instructed to perform truly odd tasks, such as sorting human eyes by color. Okay, so that's pretty cool. This is a really neat way to generate some skeletal encounters. And then we have our gloves of horrible suffering. This is an item that you can find that you might want to generate an adventure off of. And then we have a number of different fold-out adventures. Now, these fold-out adventures, while they look kind of cool, I think they're really hard to use. They are really hard to use on the table. I'm not a huge fan of these. I wish that these were more kind of a tri-fold pamphlet-style adventures, just to make them easier to use. Folding and unfolding these, they do kind of wear out quickly. Now, with all of this stuff, if you bought the box, you also got PDFs for everything, so you could make your own pamphlets if you wanted to. I believe that Phil said he is also going to be releasing a PDF of the box, so you could make your own box or your own bestiary box. But let's take a look at some of these here. Let's take a look at 2 of these smaller pamphlets. I will randomize these, and 1 and 2. Okay, so we'll take a look at these 2. These 3 will be kept secret for the people who purchased this. So let's see what we have here. In the ruins of the towers, whispers and rumors spread through the city. Thieves and scoundrels cannot contain their excitement over the word that the towers of Morgan Mulford do exist. Long thought to be little more than a story used to frighten children, it turns out that the wizard Mulford and his fabled towers not only are fact, but his home stood closer to the city than any dared imagine. The heroes are approached by Magjan Ekernev, a sorcerer who has managed to discover the location of Mulford's towers. Ekernev makes the adventurers an offer, accompany him to the towers to see it that he survives the dangers of the swamp and whatever may lurk in the ruined towers. Then he'll split the claimed treasures with the party. All right, so this is a little micro adventure from Philip Reed. And on the other side here, we have our towers. Looks like we have a encounter chart there. We have different towers. Towers 1, 2, surviving the towers, a wizardly failure, and Morgan Mulford himself down here. So a nice little adventure. Pull that back up. And the second one here that we'll take a look at is an unfinished task. Skeletal man at arms. So we have a big skeleton boss there. The crunch, sorry for the glare here. These things are very shiny. The crunch of their footsteps was faint, almost easy to miss. And if it were not for the clang of their armor and weapons, the skeletal warriors may have gone undetected by the adventurers. Then on the back here, we do have the details of that. We have a little cave here. Looks like it has 2 different adventure spots. We have the sculptures, kind of vultures, skull vultures there. the heroes attack, the heroes wait, and the heroes will walk away. So just a nice little kind of just a micro encounter, but done in an elaborate poster that you might expect from something like Mork Borg, going out of its way to be a little, can be a little hard to engage with. And that is kind of the appeal of some of the Mork Borg stuff. It's like, what actually is this? And speaking of that, here is the Fathomless Despairs. So this is a poster, but the poster is actually attached to 2 pieces of card stock. I have really never seen anything like this. I'm not quite sure if I like it or not, but this is a poster size adventure that has a lot of stuff on it. But again, it is just a little hard to use. Okay, so here we have this side. It looks like this is probably side 2. Let me flip this over to hopefully this will be side 1. Okay, here we go. This is side 1. We have the Valley of the Unfortunate Undead. And we have a hex crawl here with keyed hexes. We have random encounters in areas 1 and 2, exploring the Vile Valley, a skeletal wizard, a walking corpse, skeletal soldiers. So, I mean, this whole box is just overflowing with skeletons. And if you like skeletons as much as I do, I think you'll get a big kick out of a lot of this stuff. So we have the Gallows Hill here. So this is one keyed hex. We have the Crypt of Hazakan. This is a keyed hex number 2. Why they visit the valley. The PCs are in this terrible valley because 5. They're running away after a terribly unfortunate misunderstanding with a powerful merchant, and they're looking for a place to hide until it is safe to return to the city. Over here on our card, we do have a Graveyard Ghoul. I think one of the things I'm worried about with these poster size adventures or supplements is just how hardy these are going to be. How many times can this be folded or unfolded and that kind of thing. So I think you do need to be a little careful because it's not the thickest, most robust paper. Here we have the rest of our keyed hexes. We have our Black Shank Cemetery, our Statue of the Fallen Defender, the Mines of the Necromancer, the Entrance to the Pain Realm, and the Ruins of Castle Bloodspark. And then here we have random encounters in areas 5, 6, and 7. So a D36 random encounter chart there. What was the first random encounter chart on the other side here? That is a D24. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And I'll save the other one as a surprise for the people who want to get this. That is Return to the Valley of Despair. But overall, I think this is a very Mork Borg thing. It's kind of maybe the most Mork Borg thing. One of the general complaints that people do have against Mork Borg, and one of the things that does make it a little bit of an uphill battle for some people, is the design. I often hear people say it gives them a headache to read, or it's difficult to read. It's difficult to know what to do. And I can completely see that point of view. Personally, I happen to like a lot of the design. Mork Borg is a thing that really is 75% of its appeal to me is its visual design, is its busyness, is kind of puzzling out how you make things work, what you need to do to access the information. I happen to like that in Mork Borg. It's not true of all things that are designed like this, but I happen to really enjoy that aspect of it. And this kind of pushes everything to a super extreme. These big posters, these fold out bestiary things, using the box that you can store your zines in as a dice tray that is also a bestiary. That's kind of crazy. You wouldn't really see this kind of stuff with other games. So that is one of the things that I appreciate about Mork Borg. One of the things that I appreciate about the indie tabletop RPG scene. It's just the willingness to get kind of crazy with things. So, but I do understand that that's not for everybody. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed taking this brief look at the Box of Terrors from Philip Reed, I should say. And we will talk to you later. Bye-bye.